Hello everyone, this is George with the Paper Panda Crafts. I am back today with kind of a tutorial, kind of like a project share. I don't really know what to call it, but I'm going to share a way that I've found to uh, cover composition books. So I have been busy covering composition books, and I'm sure that this is probably nothing new to some of y'all, but a lot of things are new to me, so I figured I would share things as I learn them. So if you want to see what I've learned, then stick around. So as you can see, I've been covering some composition books lately. And a few of these I did a while back, and these over here I just recently did. My sister-in-law actually wanted 8 of them to give to coworkers, so that way they have something to take notes in while they're having meetings and stuff like that. So so she wanted 8 of them to give to them for Christmas. So I've got 4 of them done because I'm going to keep these 3, or I might give them to her. I really don't know yet. But so the way that I was doing it is I would take a piece of decorative paper, cardstock, whatever you want to call it, and I would try to cut it down to the size of this, paste it on here, and then I would, whether it be with tape or using my Xyron or whatever, and then I'd just trim off the excess, and I'd go around and kind of, sand down the edges. And just because me being nitpicky, I would go around with like my ink pad to cover the edges, so that way they're covered. And if I wanted to do the inside, I would do the same thing. I would try to cut it to just cover this edge right here, which I have not done in this one. And I would put a piece of paper here, trim off any kind of excess, and round my corners and all that stuff. Well, I came across a YouTube tutorial from a YouTube channel called Lyric Lovers Crafts, and I saw her covering a composition book. And this method was it was easy, it gives you a nice finished edge, and the way she did it is, well, her compositions I think were a little bit smaller, so her 12 by 12 sheet covered like a good portion of the inside flap, and her composition books didn't have all this jazz on the inside, so she put like a nice little pocket to finish covering the inside, which is really nice. But on the ones that I did, I just covered the inside with another piece of paper. So I covered the outside, covered the inside. I added some Project Life cards just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. And I left this here so that way somebody can maybe put their name or put, whatever this notebook is for, whether it's notes or for school or whatever. I made this one here. And same thing on the inside. And I got these here. And I've covered inside, or the front and the backs. So I'm going to show you what I learned, and when you see it, you're going to be like, oh, okay, it's not that hard. So like I said, the name of her channel was Lyric Lovers Craft and Crafts, and I will link her channel down below along with the specific video that I saw. And like I said, my composition books are the standard size that you can get from Walmart. I think they're still 50 cents, and if not cheaper by now because it's not back to school time anymore. So let's get going. So what we're going to need for this is your composition book. If you want to leave this just plain black, you can. It just, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to paint it or whatever you want to do with this edge right here, whether you paint it with acrylic or paint it however you want to paint it. But I'm going to leave it plain black because black goes with the paper that I'm going to use. I'm going to be using paper from Dark Botanical. I got this, obviously one of the hot buys from Michaels. And it's just really full of a bunch of dark rose flower patterns, butterflies, all kinds of really, really pretty dark themed papers. So I'm not sure if this pad is still available anymore. I don't think it is. But yeah, so I'm going to be using that, and it will go well with this black edge. So I don't need to paint it or anything like that. So what we're going to need is we're going to need some paper. For the outside, we're going to be using, you can leave it at the 12 length and cut it down to, if you want to leave it at the full 12 by 12. I cut it down to 8 inches. So 8 inches by 12 is what I'm using. You can leave it the full 12 by 12 if you want to. I only cut it down because I wanted to run it through my Xyron. Sorry for the glare. So I wanted to run it through my Xyron machine, and my Xyron will not accept 12 by 12 sheets. It has to be no bigger than 9, and even then I don't like to do the full size 9 because sometimes it doesn't catch the edge, and you'll have an edge that doesn't have adhesive. So I will usually cut it down to no bigger than maybe 8 3/4. So this is 8 by 11, or I'm sorry, 8 by 12. So we're going to need 2 of those, one for the front and one for the back. And then we're going to need 2 pieces of paper for the liner sheets, which measure 6 7/8 by 9 1/2. And so this is so simple, and it makes it so easy. All you're going to do is, if you've used your Xyron machine, you can go ahead and peel that plastic and then peel the backing away from your paper. And I always say to peel the backing away from the paper just so that way the paper doesn't curl up as much. So you're going to take this, and I'm just going to butt it up against the edge of that spine and try to lay it evenly, to where you have an even amount on each end. This side's got a little bit more, but you know what, it's not a big deal. So once you've got it on there, you can use your bone folder to make sure it's all nice and stuck. And open it up, and you're going to have this. So once you open it up, now if you used tape to lay this down, whether it be an ATG or double-sided tape or whatever you have, then more than likely these parts will not be sticky, and you can fold these in to find out where you need to cut this piece. But since these are sticky, I can't fold them in yet. So I am going to cut up to, I don't know where to cut. I'm going to cut up to right about here. And I'm going to cut right about there. And you can come in just a little bit. You can angle it just a hair, just so that way everything will be within this section, this part here. Sorry, I cannot talk today. I cannot string a sentence together to save my life. So y'all are going to have to bear with me. If you don't get what I'm saying, just watch what I'm doing. So you're going to cut out your little corner here, And same thing right there. Now when I first tried to do this, I tried to do a miter cut and it just didn't work. I guess because these corners are rounded. I'm not really sure why, or maybe I just did it wrong. I don't know. But, so once you've got these cut, all you're going to do is you're just going to fold this in. And you're going to fold in this side. Get everything nice and stuck. And then you're going to fold in the front. And don't worry about this weirdness here. And there you go. Now we're going to do the same thing to the back. And I'm going to do the back off camera because it's literally the exact same thing. Okay, so now that we've got our front and our back covered, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my corner chomper. I'm going to go in with the 1/4 inch side. And I love this thing because it can go through not only the paper but the cover of the notebook if needed. So I'm just going to get that set in here and chomp that. Chomp that one. Flip this over and do the same thing. Alright, and there we go. So we have rounded our corners using the 1/4 inch side, and by folding the paper like this around, it gives you a nice finished edge. And now for the inside, which is again super easy to cover. And like I said, this method is for if you don't want all of this on the inside. If you do, then you're going to need to go ahead and just adhere the paper on the outside and then trim it out so that way you can keep all of this on the inside. The people that are going to be receiving this are not going to be using this. They're going to be using the paper just to, like I said, take notes during meetings and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some tape on the inside. Alright. Sorry if I shook the camera. So now that we got our tape laid, we're just going to peel it up. And once we get our backing peeled up, we're just going to add glue to the outside of our paper. And you want to put a decent amount, just so that way you don't have any edges coming up, you don't have your corners coming up. But you don't want to oversaturate your paper also. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so now, this is kind of a trick because sometimes these do not want to lay flat. So I'm going to turn this way because I really only want to line it up with this line right there. I don't want to get it any further than that because I don't want it interfering with the natural fold. So I'm only going to put it to the edge of that gray of these boxes. Okay. Try and line it up as best I can. Get it straight. And lay it down. Alright, and then you can go back in with your bone folder to work that glue in and get everything nice and stuck. And then use a towel of some kind to pick up any glue that might have leaked out the edges. So there we go. There's one finished side, and now we're going to do the same thing to the back. So we're going to lay down our tape. Pick up any glue that might have leaked, which is kind of hard to tell where it leaked because this looks like glue sometimes, and it's not. It's just the marbling on the paper. Alright, so that is it. We've got our back all lined and covered. As you can see, it gives us a nice finished edge. Same thing in the front. Liner sheet inside on the outside, and now we're going to decorate. So what I'm going to do to decorate is I got some cut-aparts from that same paper pad, and for this one I'm going to use I think I'm going to use this one on the outside. Decisions. Because I'm going to make another one. I'm not going to make another one on camera, but I'm going to make another one using the same paper pad. So I'm trying to think of which one I want to use on which. God, so many decisions. So I think I am going to go with this gold one with this white rose. And I've cut the edges using one of my other corner chompers, this is the Stub and Deco chomper from We Are Memory Keepers. And let me see if I can find a piece of scrap paper. So the Stub cuts the paper. I'm sorry, the Deco cuts the paper like that. I don't know if y'all can see that. And the Stub cuts the paper like that. So I've used the Deco on this one to cut down the edges, just because I wanted to make it look decorative. So I'm going to put this one on the outside, and I'm just going to use my tape runner. And y'all, these tape runners that Sherry of Posh Paper Lady uses are the best. I love them so much. I've gone through so many different tape runners just because I don't know, they poop out on me, or the adhesive gets all messed up, or the ribbon snaps or something, and I don't like hardly any of them except this one from Fullmark. I think I usually link these down below. If I don't, I will this time. But I love these things so much, and they're not expensive at all. I think you get 5 or 6 of them for like $9, something like that. And there's a lot on here, on each one. There's a lot on each one, so you're definitely getting your money's worth. So once I've got my tape on here, I'm going to try to center this the best I can. Okay. And then on the inside, I think I'm just going to put this one here. And it just has some lines on it, so that way somebody can maybe put their name, what they're going to use this for, put whatever they want to put. If they want to put an inspirational saying, whatever. So I used the same deco edge on, or corner chomper on this one, again, just to make it look pretty. And same thing, I'm going to use tape runner to get this stuck down. And I already did that side. Oh well. That side will be extra sticky. Okay. And I will just put this centered as best I can. Alright, and that's it. That was so simple, wasn't it? So, I love covering composition books this way. It's fast, it gives you a nice finished edge, just makes everything look really, really nice and finished. And again, most importantly, is it's quick. Now again, like I said, if you want to preserve the inside, so if you're going to give this to like a student that is actually going to use the boxes on the inside for like the class schedule and everything that's in there, then you might want to do it the other way, which is by covering on the outside and trimming out the edges. So that way you can preserve the inside. But like I said, the people that I'm giving these to, or that my sister-in-law is giving these to, they're going to be using them for work, and they don't need those things in there. So, yeah. But that is it. That is my, like I said, I don't know what to call it. I don't know if I should call it a project share or a technique share. I don't know. But, like I said, I will have her channel linked below, and also it'll probably pop up in a card at some point in the video, maybe right now, maybe when I first mentioned it. And I will also link the specific video where she shows how she does this. But yeah, so if you like the video, don't forget to, of course, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, of course, and leave me a comment and all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And till the next one, bye.